Alrighty, so today I want to demonstrate some more Anti-Menat tech. I already made an Anti-Menat video where I demonstrate a bunch of Anti-Menat tech and generally just talk about the strategies to use when playing against Menat to be able to be more effective and get in on her zoning better. But today I want to demonstrate some new tech that I have found after making the how to punish Colleen's EX Hail video. I thought some more and decided that I should apply some of the same tech I developed in that video to fighting against Menat, and found some really good stuff. So this tech is going to be specifically for when the orb is getting recalled, how to take advantage of that situation and continue to push Menat to the corner. So I already talked about in my earlier video how to pressure Menat while the orb is behind you. So I specifically talked about pressuring with lights and well, I talked about two things. I talked about pressuring with light attacks. I talked about using crouching normals, because if you force her into block stun, then the orb will go over your head if she hasn't already been crouching for a while, because if she crouches without being put into any form of block stun, the orb will go lower and hit you while you're crouching. But if the orb is from the medium position or the high position, then it will go up in the air towards Menat if she's standing, or if she's blocking anything, it will move to her position as if she was standing. So you can safely poke with crouching normals, so long as they'll make contact with Menat, and the orb will go completely over your head, and you'll be fine. Like so. I talked about pressuring with light attacks and non-committal moves, so that you might just tag her pressing something and deactivate the orb. And I talked about as soon as you see that you're not going to open the Menat up, jumping out and getting out of the orb as it's coming back. Like so. Like so. Which will allow you to continue to threaten and push her without necessarily it will allow you to push her to the corner when she is recalling the orb to trap you without necessarily putting yourself in a disadvantageous situation. And I also talked about walking forward and throwing, which, if you get the throw, it'll obviously deal damage, and if you get the throw tech, then the orb will just pass through your body, and you won't have to deal with it at all. And then you'll be in an advantageous situation, and you'll have pushed Menat to the corner. So those are the options to pressure Menat while the orb is coming back from the recall that I talked about in my earlier video. But now I have developed some new tech that will also allow you to pressure or make good use of your pressure while pushing Menat to the corner while the orb is coming for you. So basically, this tech is using moves to put Menat in block stun right before you get hit by the orb, like so. And the reason why so I'm doing this because, so if I do crouching hard kick, you have to time it. So I just did standing hard punch right there, and then I got hit by the orb. You notice how I was +3 there? That's because Menat is stuck in block stun for 3 frames longer than I am stuck in hit stun after getting hit by the orb. So if you can find attacks that cause way more block stun than the orb will cause of hit stun when it hits you out of the move, like so, then you can check Menat right before you get hit by the orb and then be plus on block. And you'll be plus on block as the orb is pulling you in closer to her, allowing you to get an immediate mix-up for most characters. So, Ryu is not actually very good at doing this at all. He only really gets 2 options for doing this. Well, actually he gets 3 options. So, another thing that you can do is, you can throw fireballs and then, have the hit of the orb as it's coming back cancel the recovery of your fireball, thus allowing you to follow your fireball more effectively. Ryu can't do this very well, but some characters can. Yeah, like so. So I can more closely chase after my fireball by using Menat's orb to hit myself out of the recovery. But yeah, Ryu also gets his V-Trigger 2 parry, which is +5, which will parry the orb and be +5 on block afterwards. Or get the hit outright. So those are, and then Ryu's other options are standing hard punch, which is usually his best option. Which will usually be from +1 to +4. And crouching hard kick, which, if timed correctly, will get to about +2. Chun-Li is also garbage at doing this. She really just gets back hard punch, which she has to be pretty close to be able to do anyways. And it'll be anywhere from like around -1 to +3, I think is, yeah, or 0, around there. And she can also use the orb to cancel the recovery of her fireballs, like so. As far as I've tested, Mika is the only character that has no way to utilize this tech. So, sucks for her. So Rashid doesn't really have any normals that he can make great use of, like standing hard punch. If you do it really well, it'll be like -1, so that won't be great. Standing hard kick will be in the air, so he doesn't really have great ways of utilizing this, but he can do medium kick, whirlwind, which will usually leave him plus after the orb hits him to cancel the recovery, and the EX whirlwind, which he'll usually be plus enough to walk forward and throw. So the way this tech works, of course, is that you're doing moves with tons and tons of block stun, regardless of what their actual advantage on block would be normally, and then it doesn't matter because the recovery will just be the flat hit stun that the orb recall causes, so long as you're timing it just so. Which means that bigger characters with bigger attacks, like big bodies and grapplers and such, are usually going to be better at utilizing this tech than other characters. Which means that Alex is super good at doing this. So Alex can use EX Flash Chop to do this. It can be plus on block if you get the second hit of it. Yeah, there we go. But it's not that reliable, and it's pretty hard to time, since you have to time it so that the second hit is the one that's getting canceled, not the first hit, which will be terrible on block. like so. Alex also gets standing hard punch, which will usually be plus if timed correctly. There we go, +4. And he gets pulled into command throw range. Lariat, forward hard punch will also do the job. And the light elbow slash will, if timed correctly, be 0 or +1 or +2 on block. Akuma gets standing hard punch to be +2 or 3. Crouching hard kick and crouching hard punch to be +3 or 4. Throwing the heavy red fireball and using the orb to cancel it to be +4 or whatever. Menat gets V-skill to be anywhere from like +1 to +3. Falk gets a forward hard punch, and I don't remember if this can be plus, but it'll at least, you know, it won't be punishable. It'll be like -1 or -4. It's not that great. Much better option is standing hard punch, which will be like +3. Way better. This one's pretty hard to time. Usually moves that move your character forwards are harder to time. But yeah, you can do back hard punch and be +1. Standing hard punch is usually a better bet and will lead you to be more plus. Sakura's standing hard kick is fucking amazing at doing this. It can be like +5 or +6, and it's super easy to time. So, if you're doing Ed's Psycho Knuckle, like, at all, you will be interrupted by the orb after Menat blocks, and Ed will be, like, anywhere from, like, +5 to +12. I think I've seen him be, like, +14, too. It's quite good. For more immediate situations, Ed also gets crouching hard punch. And any contact that the Psycho Snatcher makes whatsoever will basically just cancel like the orb from existence. It no longer becomes a factor. But there is a situation, yeah, where he can be the Psycho Snatcher will land like just barely, and he'll be hit at pretty much the same time, and he'll be around +15. So Jury pretty much gets throwing out her fireball and then having the recovery be cancelled by the orb, like so. But she also gets any of these flip kicks are pretty good, honestly, because what they allow you to do is you can like pressure with light attacks, and then you can cancel those lights into the flip kicks, and it'll usually, you can time it such so that you'll be plus on block. The farther away the orb is, you can just do a heavier flip kick, and it should be fine. You can only do the light or medium ones, though. So yeah, you can make that plus on block. So Buki gets a bunch of options. One that's pretty hard to time is doing V-Scale. It's hard to time it so that it'll be plus, but it can be plus. The uncharged or charged, it doesn't matter. Both of which can be plus. Also, Ibuki has like just a variety of ways of getting around the orb in general. Like the forward hard kick will just go over the move a lot of times, like that. So will the forward medium kick. And she can do really good cancels because she can throw out EX Kunai and have the orb cancel the recovery of the moves. So she can throw out medium EX Kunai from about there and be amazing on block, like super good. And then from here, she can just do a light kick into the light EX Kunai, and it'll always come out, and then you'll be super plus on block. So Laura kind of sucks at this, honestly. She doesn't have many moves that will end up being plus on block after getting hit by the orb. She really doesn't have much in the way of anything. And beyond that, she also can't do the fireball trick because as soon as Laura takes damage, her fireball disappears. So Zangief gets a crouching hard kick, which will be about 0 on block. Crouching hard punch, which will be generally plus on block. Although he has to get into that range first. And but a much better option for Zangief would just be hard punch. Karen can do the fully charged V-Scale, but at best it'll be like 0. Usually it'll be worse. It's generally just a much better idea to go for standing hard kick for Karen, which will isn't too hard to time. And will generally be +1 or +2. Another thing Karen can do is she can do the shoulder, and the orb will just float right through her. And better yet, she can do the EX shoulder and be very plus, like +1 to +5. So depending on the range and spacing and like whatever, Nash can do forward hard punch and be like 0 or +1 at best, but usually is a bit worse. Nash can also throw sonic booms. The light sonic boom he'll get a better recovery off of. And if Nash is in range, crouching hard punch will be like very plus. +4 there. +3 there. So Ken gets his V-Scale, which will be 0 to +2. I'm timing it too early. And he gets a very reliable, easy to time standing hard kick, which will be quite plus. Cammy, being a faster, lighter character, is not very good at making use of this tech. The only thing that she can even be that's plus is crushing hard punch. Which, you know, is fine. Like, and she can do it from pretty far away. Big is really good at doing this. Crouching hard punch with the claw on will, you can time it terribly like that and still be good on block. Like, it's quite advantageous. Vega also has standing hard punch, which is not as good as crouching hard punch. And he has the light claw slash, which he can do to be 0 or +1 at best. And better than that, he can do EX claw slash, and if he's interrupted right there, he'll be very plus, +5 or +6. Without the claw, he gets standing hard punch to be +2 or +3. Nikali just gets standing hard kick, but it's still pretty good. Guile, of course, like all the projectile characters, gets Sonic Boom. He also gets crouching hard kick. And best of all, back hard punch. Colleen gets a really easy, really advantageous crouching hard kick. And that's really all you need, but she also gets crouching hard punch and an even on block back hard kick if properly timed. Although really, why not just go for the +6 crouching hard kick? Old Zeku gets the close range light Graham Koku, whatever this one's called, which you can also use when canceling off of normals. If you're pressuring her and she's blocking, you can cancel like that and still be plus. And if you want to do it a bit longer, medium one will also still be plus. He also gets a really good standing hard punch, which you can miss time and still be plus. And an excellent standing hard kick for this. And from further away, the projectiles won't have as much hit stun as like the full hits, so you can't do the light or medium from this far out and still be plus, but you can do the EX Koku or Graham Kick and still be plus. Young Zeku gets the medium palm strike, which can be plus in 2 different situations. If it hits right after the first hit of the palm strike, which is pretty hard to time, and it's better after the second hit of the palm strike. But that's still not that great. A better option is just to go for a standing hard kick. Blanca gets standing hard kick. And standing hard punch. So Abigail's awesome at doing this. He can do a wide assortment of things. He can do about this range or closer. He can do crouching hard punch. It's pretty easy to time. He can be anywhere from 0 to +4. You can do standing hard punch and be anywhere from +1 to +8. You can do back hard punch and be like anywhere from +1 to +7. You can do the nitro charge running punch. And be +1 or plus whatever. That's not as reliable because you have to time it so far in advance. Better to go for one of those options, especially if you're closer. Just go for back hard punch. And he also gets standing medium punch to be about +3. Urian is trash at doing this. The best option he has is fully charged standing hard punch, which you have to time pretty far in advance, but it's okay. Other than that, he doesn't have much. Like standing hard punch uncharged can be 0 at best. Down forward hard kick can be a -1 at best. Standing hard kick can be 0 at best. Actually, no. Can be +1. Alright. But yeah, it's mainly about that chop. Balrog has a few options. His main one is just standing hard kick. So usually be about +3 or +4. Ain't that hard to time. He also gets crouching hard punch. He also gets the V-skill punch, which will be 0 at best, but it's still pretty good, since you can do it pretty late. And he can do the light dash punch, which will be +3 at best. Fong gets nothing. At best, you can, like, use it to throw out one of the niche cube projectiles while canceling your recovery, and you can choose which one you want depending on how far away the opponent is, like so. That's really all he gets. Dulcim actually gets a pretty decent, from long range, he can do just standing hard kick. And be just fine on block, like -1 really, at best. But closer, he's actually really good. He gets a light yoga fire, and he'll generally be plus on that. It's easy to time. He can be like +9. It's super good. Birdie's also excellent. He can do standing hard kick and get a really easy 0 to +4. If you want to be dragged in closer, you can do crouching hard punch, although it's harder to get as plus, but you can be like +1 or 2 off of it. And he gets, actually, EX Bullhead, which, can do really easily and be like +2 or 3. Bison gets the Psycho Axe, which can be very plus. And he gets the light Psychosphere. That's about it, really. Yeah. There's a lot of tech to be used against Menat to deal with the orb and get in on her when she has the orb. Whenever she throws the orb out, especially about that far or any farther, you should really be taking advantage of it and moving in and using any of the tech that I've put on this channel to pressure her, open her up, and push her to the corner every single time she throws this orb out at a long distance. So, you know, get to it. Start practicing the timing for your character, unless you're Armika or Laura, in which case you get pretty much nothing. But yeah.